Good morning, YouTube. So last video I did called, what was the thumbnail title? Just hit record. Just hit record. That video, I realised I cheated you guys because what I'd done is I'd gone out in the middle of the forest and filmed a video, and there was no one there. So I'm telling you to just hit record whenever and wherever, and then I realised that there was no one around, and so I thought I kind of need to fix that. Bellini's getting some attention already. Not me, by the way, talking on camera. Bellini in her bag. I think you can see her there somewhere. It's hard to see the screen. Yeah, there she is. Hard to see the screen at the same time. Yeah, so I felt like after I'd watched that video back, I thought, I messed up, didn't I? I didn't go anywhere where there's people. So today I've put my wider angle lens on. I'm not sure if that really shows. And I'm in central Stockholm. Funnily enough, there's not that many people here, actually. Let me just flip you around a second, hang on. You can see, this is what I can see. So there are people around, and they're passing me by. Now you can look at their reaction and see if anybody cares what I'm doing. Doesn't matter though, does it? So if you get, a weird look or someone that's, interested in you, it doesn't mean that it's a negative. They might just be interested in what you're doing. You're doing something different, or they might think you're weird. And
this has probably happened before.
In that case, what does it matter? It just doesn't, does it? So I thought I'd come out and do this for you today to hopefully inspire you to say that it doesn't matter. What other people think just doesn't matter. If a random stranger walks past me now and has an opinion that I'm weird, or I'm talking to a camera or whatever, so what? I mean, it's not going to have any effect on me, and there's no guarantee that's what they're thinking anyway. So that was the first thing I wanted to say, and I want to just come out and prove it to you by doing this video in town, or in the city actually, in Stockholm city centre. So I thought I'd do it here because it's a bit nicer here than it is in the centre, because all the shops and stuff is kind of boring probably for you guys, whereas this is maybe a little bit nicer view. Let me change hands so you can actually see where I am. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, anyway, a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about. One of them was progress that I've made. Because there's a lot of you people out there that are stuck, maybe low numbers, low subscribers, no one's watching your videos, whatever. And I wanted to say that it was the same for me. I had last Monday, so just over a week ago, I had 19 people, and two things happened on that day. One was that I released that video saying just hit record. And the second thing was that Raina, also, if you haven't seen her channel, Small Retired Life, she recommended me on her videos, one of her videos, sorry. And that's given me a boost in the subscribers as well. I'm about to get run over by a truck here, hold on. So yeah, that gave me a boost of, at least, I know of 2 people who came from her channel who've subscribed to me. So if any of you out there haven't had the time to comment on that, then please let me know if you did come from Raina's channel, because I want to be able to pass on the things I learn, and I can't do that if I don't have the info. Anyway, so yeah, if you are from Raina's channel, let me know. So that was a boost basically to the channel. Now I sat there, I'll show you the stats on the screen, but I sat there on 19 subscribers for, felt like forever, and it did change. You'll see on the stats that I'll have on the screen now, it did change slowly, but the gains are very, very slow, and some periods nothing happened at all. And so the same thing might happen to you, and if it does, then all you need to know is that it can change literally overnight. And I went from 19 subscribers last Monday, so a week ago roughly, to 81 this morning when I woke up. So that's, I've basically quadrupled my subscriber count in a week. Now, I haven't, I guess you guys have. You're the ones that have actually signed up to my channel. So if you're getting depressed that you know you're not getting anywhere, you're not seeing sort of growth that you'd expect, or maybe even that you deserve because your content might be great, then just keep going, because you never know when that one thing is going to pretty much change anything. Because what it's changed for me is that my audience was, I didn't have an audience, and the ones that I did have were completely random and, you know, nothing to do with my channel, so no one was going to watch any of my stuff anyway, which made all the statistics useless. And yeah, just made it so that you didn't really know what to do except just keep going. And that's changed now, because the people that I have now are actually engaged with my channel, commenting, liking, you know, watching the videos. And so the systems see that, and they then put your stuff out to, when they see the engagement from the people who are subscribed, they then push your content out to more people like those people. And that's the key part that you need. So you need to make sure that you're working towards that through optimizing everything you can, from search-based traffic to thumbnails and all the other stuff, and just keep working on those things. And also niche down, if you want to call it that. So if you have a niche like I do with, you know, YouTube growth, for example, then what you want to make sure you do is you want to take like an even more focused look at what you're doing. And you want to be able to say that, for example, if you're doing YouTube growth, you can say, well, new YouTubers need to know how to use CapCut. Okay, fair enough. But what do they also need? Some motivation, maybe. Okay. But those two things, I think, as far as YouTube are concerned, are two separate issues. Because somebody who's learning CapCut might just be doing it for a school project and they don't care about a YouTube channel. So those people won't be interested in your YouTube growth stuff. So you really need to focus down onto something that is very focused. And I think that's what's got me, you know, where I am this week, is that I focus down more on a bit more of the motivation stuff and trying to help people to get started. And that seemed to have hit. So think about that. What else was there I was going to talk about? Let's see. Yeah, so another thing that I've noticed is that there is quite an increase in the interaction on my channel, which then what it leads to is a kind of cooperation, I guess, between people. People start to talk to each other, and there starts to become somewhat of a community feel. Now, it's very early and it's very small, but I've noticed the difference. And what that difference I think has made as well is that people start discovering other people's channels that they would like through interacting with each other and through interacting with my channel. And so people start, I think, to gain subscribers. I can give you an example. I spoke to my sister yesterday, and she's obviously watched my videos mentioning Raina, so she went and checked Raina's channel out, and she loves it. And so she watches all of our stuff, and she's subscribed to Raina's channel now, and she loves Raina. I think she's awesome, which of course she is. So yeah, you can, I think for the small people here, you need to make sure that you're not just trading subscribers for no reason. So what I do is that if I see someone's channel who's subscribed to me, I will go and subscribe to them if they have content that I would actually watch and I know I have the time to watch. If I don't, I wouldn't do it. And the reason I wouldn't subscribe to them is because if I'm not interested in the content that they put out, or I know I don't have time to watch it, then I'm just going to do more harm than good by actually subscribing to them. So thanks for that. Yeah, so I'm going to do more harm than good by subscribing to them, and I don't want to do that to someone's channel, especially when they're super small, as some of our channels are. So when someone grows a bit more, yeah, sure, I could subscribe to them, because it won't have any effect at that point, and then I can just keep a little track of them and maybe watch the odd thing. But I don't want to mess up their their algorithm for them by basically what they call trading subscribers. You know, oh, you sub to me and I'll sub to you. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. And what I've said at the beginning of this video should hopefully show you that. Anyway, there was something else I was going to talk about, and I can't remember what it was. No, maybe that was it. So yeah, I'm right in the centre now, as you can see, and let's turn you a little bit. So yeah, it doesn't matter, you know. These people don't care what I'm doing, and if they do, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't make any difference to me. So just hit record, and this time just hit record anywhere. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to go and do what I'm doing here and go into town, but I just did this because it's the most extreme almost you can do. Oh yeah, that was the third thing I was going to talk about. Great. So what I want you guys to think about is that when I worked in security and law enforcement, we had this this system basically where we would consider ourselves in a certain state of preparedness, and it basically was a color-coded system. I'll stick it on the screen somewhere for you and show you, but what it is that when you wake up in the morning in your bed, you're basically in the white color bracket, where you are at your most calm, you're most at ease, and nothing is a threat to you, and you're just relaxed, you're probably half asleep. But then as your environment changes throughout the day, like when you first go outside, for example, maybe you're walking out to the car, but maybe you start to, you know, go into the green color, where you start to see that, okay, there's potential problems out here. You know, you have to focus on the road if you're driving. You have to consider there's other people around, and other people can be an issue, and you're starting to think about going to work perhaps, and at work you need to be on your A game, so you start to get into a different level of preparedness and of what's the word I'm looking for, like distraction. You know, you have things going on around you now. So that just progresses. You can see the levels on the screen, but in the end, you know, when things really go wrong, then you're in the black, and that's where, of course, you absolutely don't want to be. So I thought that it was a good thing you could apply to your YouTube journey, because if you consider yourself to be, for example, when you're filming a video in your house, if you consider yourself to be in the green bracket, then you are probably pretty good, right? You're not completely relaxed when you're filming a video at home, probably, because you're trying to, you know, make sure you perform, you're trying to make sure you don't mess stuff up, you're trying to do your best for the viewer, but in the end you are fairly relaxed. Now, some people filming a video at home and talking to a camera, they might be in, you know, in the orange or red, right? They might be really nervous or scared about doing that. So if you are in that category, then I just want to make sure that you think that it will improve over time. If you can push yourself, if you write down how you feel in certain circumstances when you're filming, and then you write that down now, and then let's say in another couple of months when you've made a lot more videos, maybe, you know, that fear that you had recording at home has gone down from, you know, yellow to green, for example, and so you've made progress. And then maybe you're ready to take a step like this one, to go outside, perhaps. You don't have to, it's not required, of course. But what I'm trying to say is that you can note your progress by following a system like that, and you can sort of actually analyse, how do I actually feel about this, and how am I doing, and am I progressing? And it should, so I'm making sure I don't get run over, it should hopefully show you your progress and help you to analyse, like, why are you in the green category or the orange or the red in a certain situation? What is it that's bothering you about it? And get you to focus on that, and maybe, you know, think about it a little bit and find out ways to get around it. So consider it, consider using it, and see what you think. See if it improves anything for you or not. Anyway, we're going to sign off now, I think. But yeah, I drove here today to do this video for you, to hopefully inspire you to hit record anywhere.